Hey everybody, welcome to It's Just Food with Mike. I'm Mike. I'm going to show you how to make a chimichurri sauce today. This is I don't know if it's the official sauce of Argentina and Uruguay, but this is where it originated. I'm not sure which country is the first to do it, but they have it as a condiment on any fish, pork, chicken, or beef dish that they have. It's super simple. You don't have to cook anything to make this sauce. It's basically just flat leaf parsley, garlic, and a few other things. I'm going to go over it with you. And it comes together very, very quickly, but you got to let it kind of sit for a day. So I'm doing this the day before I'm going to use it. Okay, so we're going to start here with one big bunch of flat leaf parsley. It was a big bunch. With that, I'm going to put 5 cloves of garlic. I've got some crushed red pepper, dried oregano, extra virgin and regular olive oil, and red wine vinegar with salt and pepper. That's all that goes in this dish. First thing we got to do is chop up all this parsley. And I'm going to show you the technique to it here in a minute once I get it broke down a bit. It's really simple. Takes a few minutes. This is the hardest part of the whole thing. Everything else is just put it in a bowl and mix it. And there's no exact amounts. When it comes to basically the vinaigrette that you make out of the red wine vinegar and the olive oil, basic ratio of a vinaigrette is 1 part acid or vinegar or lemon juice, whatever, to 3 parts oil. And again, that's just I kind of eyeball that. But if you want to measure it out to 1 cup to 3 cups, I don't think you'll need that much, but feel free to do that. You can do a 1/3 cup and then a cup. That would be fine too. That's probably more along the lines of what we're going to need. This is I don't know why they call it a sauce. It's not really a sauce. Like I said, it's more of a condiment. It's loaded with flavor, and I've done this several times. Whenever I'm doing steak, if I don't want to make a hollandaise or a reduction sauce to go with it, I'll make this because it's so simple and it's delicious. So what I did with this flat leaf parsley is I rinsed it off and I dried it off pretty well. Don't worry if there's a little bit of water on this. A lot of people will actually take hot water, just hot tap water, and pour it in with the parsley to kind of liven it up a bit. I don't necessarily feel the need to do that because it's going to sit overnight. It's going to sit in the fridge overnight. We want to get this down kind of thin. You see how I do it? I'm holding the knife here up by the hilt, and I'm holding on top here. So my fingers never get in the way. And I have the weight more here, and I kind of drop the back part of it down. Just takes a few minutes. Bring it all back together. I got a big bunch here, so you probably won't have to do this much. So now we're getting down there. One thing I forgot to mention was I took the stems, I cut them off before I rinsed them, and I put them in a baggie, in a freezer bag, and put them in the freezer. Whenever I'm making stocks or soups, I'll take those stems and I'll just kind of incorporate them in for their flavor. So you can do that too. So that's about what we're looking for right there. Really fine. Goes into a bowl. And that is the base of our sauce, if we want to call it that. The sauce really comes from the red wine vinegar and the oil. Let me give my hands a rinse. Next thing we want to do is microplane. If you have one of these, they're pretty cheap. I think I don't remember where I got this. I've had this so long. The garlic, we're going to microplane this in. We want it super fine. We don't want big chunks of garlic when we're eating our food like that. There's nothing fancy about this sauce, but some of the highest end restaurants will serve this, and it's amazing how good this is. Pull those big pieces out when I get done with all this. Big pieces out. You're kind of looking for more of like a garlic paste here. And that's the fifth one. I like a lot of garlic. And my wife likes a lot of garlic. And my kids don't seem to mind it. Okay. My hands another rinse. I don't like having garlic and stuff on my hands. Okay, so next we add the oregano. And again, I'm adding about a tablespoon and a half. This will all get, say it's about a table, maybe 2 tablespoons. Tablespoon and a half to 2 crushed red pepper. I want a little bit of heat to this. I don't want too much because I'm not trying to kill the flavor of anything. I would say about a teaspoon. Okay. I'm gonna measure this out just so that I can give you an exact measurement here. I'm gonna give a half a cup of vinegar, red wine vinegar. This one's not open yet. As I make a mess everywhere. Half a cup of red wine vinegar. And now, I mentioned I'm going to be using some extra virgin olive oil. I don't really care for the taste of extra virgin olive oil. And when you're using one, you want to get one that's a decent brand. This one is okay, and there's nothing wrong with it. You don't want to go super cheap on this stuff because it's very, very strong flavored. So I'm going to do 1 part of this extra virgin to 2 parts regular olive oil. And again, go good quality because you're going to taste this. So that's the ratio. It's a 1-to-3 ratio on vinegar to oil in a vinaigrette. That goes in there. We add about, I don't know, teaspoon or so of salt. We can always adjust this afterwards. And then I like a lot of pepper. So a lot of black pepper if we can get it. Okay, we give this a stir. And that's what we're looking for right there. If you can see that. You can see the color coming out in that parsley already. By tomorrow, this should be probably a little bit dulled down, actually, because the acid will kind of do that to it. But I'm going to cover this up, and we'll come back to it when we plate it up tomorrow. So on our chimichurri now, I've let it go overnight. I'll bring this over so you can see it. You can see it's kept its color. So having to put it in warm water is not really necessary, I don't think, and I think it just kind of dilutes the flavor a bit. So I pulled it out of the fridge about an hour ago just to cut because it kind of solidifies a little bit in the fridge. And I'm going to let it get up to about room temp because you don't want to put cold food on a hot steak anyway or on anything. Again, you can put this on fish, pork, chicken, beef, whatever you want to put it on. It's really, really good stuff. So that's how you use chimichurri sauce. Again, you can put this on anything you want. I've seen them use it on fish, pork, everything, chicken, you name it. Give this a shot. You see how simple it is to make chimichurri sauce. There's no cooking involved. It's just chopping up some herbs, mixing stuff together, and letting it sit for 24 hours. It'll hold for up to 2 weeks from what I've heard. I've never let it sit around that long. It's usually gone in a couple of days. So if you like the episode, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. It's free. You might as well do it. It would help me out greatly. Share it with your friends. Comment. Let me know if you want to see anything. You want to see how to do these fondant potatoes? Let me know. And I'll see you all next time. Have an awesome day.